Now, I don't want to confuse anybody and think you can only make this dish with Scotch. I just happen to have a little Macallan 12-year-old, you know what I mean?
Good stuff.
But you can use bourbon. You can certainly use rum. Rum would be really great on this. And you know what? I really like to kind of play around with dishes like that. You normally think of taking a piece of venison and you're going to roast it, or you're going to go ahead and you know, put it on a grill like this Tenderloin and grill it real fast. People are going to slice it and pound it out and make cutlets out of it. I like to take all of these game dishes that we have in Louisiana, and how do we bring them up to the dinner table?
Right, present them.
Yeah, how do we, I mean, look, I love camp cooking.
Right.
I love to go to the camp and do the cooking, and I love to do the poppers and everything else. But when I have a nice tenderloin of venison like this, and I'm able to take this and marinate it simply, and this isn't difficult work. This is really easy to do.
The hard part was shooting it, and now we can treat it right.
And in the Louisiana, that's not even the hard part
Right.
anymore, right? So why don't you put me a little Macallan on this, just a little bit over the top of it. We just kind of, oh, I tell you what, girl.
You can smell that. My nostrils just opened.
Now, we're going to do a little salt. I'm going to come right over here, and I'm going to sprinkle just a little salt on top of it, a little granulated garlic, and of course a little pepper. And that Scotch is going to just kind of let it.
And a lot of the seasoning cooks off of it, so if it looks like too much, it's really not.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, you know, most of the cooks know, especially in liquors, anytime you put heat to alcohol, it's going to cook off.
Right.
So you don't have to worry. The alcohol becomes the marinade. That's what it's doing. So I would let this sit, obviously, covered with a little clear wrap for about 4 or 5 hours, or you can do it the night before if you want to in the refrigerator. Now you can see what I have here, right? It's a nice hot skillet, and that's important because when you put liquid, or like in this particular case, Scotch, the meat is wet, so you want to go into a hot skillet. You wouldn't put this in an oven. It would just kind of sit there and just kind of be white in the skillet, right? So now I want that very high heat to kind of get that seared nicely on one side.
Keeps the flavors inside of it.
Well, it sears it in. And of course, that Scotch is now cooking off right into the steam.
Getting a contact buzz here.
I bet you are. Again, Scotch is really good. Red wine is good. Rum is good. All of those flavors. So by searing in the outside of that meat over high heat, that's why I had the smoke in the skillet, I can turn this over, and you can see how brown that is already.
Locked it in.
Take a look at that.
Looks delicious.
Yeah. Now I would take all of these onion, celery, bell pepper, just go ahead and surround it. Again, y'all, this is a classic vegetable to Louisiana, but you can use, cut them any shape you want. I'm going to go ahead and put them in like this and just kind of let that sear a minute, even just a little touch of that garlic, not too much, and a little bit herb, a little garlic on each side. Now, y'all, what I would do with this is kind of let this cook with the vegetables in the skillet. I could put just a little touch of moisture in here, just a little bit more of this oil.
And you can't smell this at home, but I'm telling you, it is aromatic.
It's pretty incredible. And then what I would do now, Martha, is I would go into a 350-degree oven, and I would just go ahead and sear, continue to let this seared venison cook or roast in the oven at 350. I'd put a thermometer in it. You do not want this over 135.
So a cast iron skillet would be good because it's something you can put in your oven?
Absolutely, right into the oven. So we would let this go into the oven, let it cook to that 135, and when we come back, we're going to show you how to finish it off.
Absolutely, can't wait.
MoneyEcho.com. Bookmark history, show your story, leave a legacy.
We just took our venison tenderloin out of the oven, cooked it to about 135 degrees, and now we're going to make it sauce.
Make the sauce, yeah. This is the drippings and peppers. So I'm going to take this off the fire. I add a little bit more, and then I can flame that just like that. Huh?
Stand back and don't use hairspray.
We're really cooking here. Now I want to put about a half a cup of that red wine in, a little bit more maybe. And again, y'all, this is the Scotch, the Macallan went in and flamed up because that picked all of the flavor of the venison off the bottom of the skillet, right? Now
Almost a caramelizing.
Yeah, now you see how this is pulling all those sugars from the vegetables? Look how nice and thick that is. Now I'll add just a little bit. We took the bones of the deer. Now, of course, you can use a beef stock.
You make your own broth?
Absolutely. So we just take the bones, the leg bones of the deer, and we roast them off and get them nice and brown, and we create this really nice brown stock. Take a look at how pretty that stock is.
If your
right
mouth
there.
is not watering right now, something might be wrong with you.
So now that this is all done, and we would let this reduce. I'd season it just for a little pinch of salt, and that Scotch is all cooked out. And of course, you want to put your finger in there and taste that, huh?
And folks, if they don't like it medium rare, you suggest it to be medium rare, but they can cook it more if they like.
135. But y'all, if you want to cook it to 145, more well done. A lot of people hadn't gotten to the point where on game that they want to eat it a little bit rare. That's fine. The rarer you cook it, obviously, the better it's going to be. Okay?
And does any of the alcohol that's cooked in it take some of the gaminess out as well?
Well, it's certainly on tenderloin. When we talk about tenderloin, it's the best piece of meat on any animal, right? So it's going to, because of its tenderness, in the process that we did a little while ago, the marinating, and then of course the roasting, all of those flavors are going to permeate that meat. And then of course with my finished little sauce right here I'm going to put on it, I'm going to just kind of drizzle a little bit across the top of it. It's going to continue to add heat to that meat. Take a look at that.
All right, we are finished with this beautiful venison. I am so hungry, ready to eat this, and we'll be right back.
Beautiful, beautiful. Came out really nice.